Alright, question 1. We are basically gonna just go through like every area in which the exam is gonna cover, right? So camera is not focusing that well. Right, so we're gonna go through every area in which the exam is gonna entail, right? So I just came up with a few questions that might help us understand better. Right, so question number 1, right, is basically under the moving decimal points and annexing zeros category. I have a question here: 77.3 divided by 2.5, right? So this is two topics in one. So we're gonna do the moving decimal points first. So when we have a decimal dividing another decimal, we're gonna have to move the decimal point in the divisor in order to make it a whole number, right? So this is going to turn into 25, right? When we move this decimal point, we must move in the dividend also, right? What happens in the divisor must happen in the dividend. Right, so this question is going to become 773 divided by 25, right? So going along, put down our division thing. 773 divided by 25. Right, 25 can go into 77 how many times? So let's put down our 25 here, multiply, let's say 3 times. So 3 5s 15, put a 1 there. 3 2s 6, and 1 is 7. Right, so we get 75 here. So 77 take away 75 is going to give us 2. We're going to carry down our 3, right? But 25 cannot go into 23, so we're going to have to annex 0. But first we have to put up our 3 here, right? When we annex in zeros, once we add a 0, we're going to have to put a point up here, right? So we're going to drop down our thing here, 230. But we know there are 4 25s in 100, right? So we need to get 230. Okay, if you look sharp here, 230. So we know we have 200s, so it's going to turn these 2 4s, it's going to turn into 8, and then we have 125 and 30, so that's going to be 9, and then we're going to get 225 here. Go ahead, do the subtraction. 0 0 and 5. I'm gonna have to add another 0. Because we place a point here, we don't place another point down here, so we drop down that 0. 25 into 50 is 2. And we get 50. So our answer is equal to 3.92. Question number 2, right? Finding cost price after being given 5% discount on a ball costing $10 EC and 15% tax has been added, right? Costing $10. However, we are being given a discount of 5%. But the minister says that there is 15% tax on every sale. There's 15% tax on every sale. Alright? So first things first, before we do anything, we know we have to convert that 5% discount into relations of out of 100 or out of how much that $10 is, right? So 100, because it's discount, we're gonna deduct, right? Discount is deduction, so we're gonna 105 from 100 is gonna give us 95, right? So right, so 95% is out of 100, so 95 over 100, gonna convert that into a decimal, converting that into a decimal, 95%, right? And that is the same as saying 0.95, right? So we're gonna multiply 10 by 0.95. When we multiply by tens, all we have to do is move our decimal point, and our answer is $9.50, sorry, right? That is how much we are paying after the discount. But now the government says that we have 15% tax. When we having tax, the 15% tax is added to this price, so we have to add, we're paying 100% of $9.50, right? And 15%, so which is the same as 115%, right? But every percentage is out of 100, so we convert that, we end up with 1.15. so 9.50 multiply by 1.15. Let's go. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 5s 25. 5 9s are 45 plus 2 47. We're ignoring our decimal point still. Add our 0. 1 0 0. 1 5s are 5. 1 9s are 9. We have another 1, but we add 2 zeros this time. 1 0 0. 1 5s are 5. 1 9s are 9. Go ahead and do our addition now. 0 5 7 7 plus 5 is going to give us 12, right? And then we have 5 plus 5, because 4 plus 1 is 5, and we have a 5 down here, is 10, plus 9 is 19, and 9 plus 1 is 10. Now we're going to count our decimal places. We have 1 2 3 4 decimal places. So 1 2 3 4. So we end up with 10 9 2 5. We could ignore that last 0 here. Money is always written in 2 decimal places, right? So we have to get rid of that 5 here. The only how to get rid of this 5 is to round off. We're rounding off to the nearest 100th place. Because this 5 here is 5 is equal to 5, I'm gonna have to add 1 to this, and this is gonna equivalent to $10.93. Solve and check's question is number 4. We have 2 ways of doing solve and check. Solve and check, first way we know is by addition. So we have to get rid of this number over here in order to let n be by itself. So the only how to get rid of that number over there is to subtract 24. Right? So this would end up to be 0. But Whatever we do here, we have to do over here. Subtract 24 again. Put our line, or equal line, and we know this is going to end up to be 0, so we're going to put our n is equal to 24 from 40. Put, for the people who needs this, have to borrow and subtract. Put our 3 here, put 1 here. 10 take away 4 is 6, and 3 take away 2 is going to give us 1. So we end up with 16. So now we have to check. Checking. We're saying that 16 is equal to 40, take away 24, and 16 is equal to 16, right? We have the other way now, the division way. 6n is equal to 36. Division. We're dividing to get rid of the 6. So we're dividing 6 by 6. We're dividing 36 by 6 again. Right? Cancel off, cancel off. 6 can go into 6 once. 6 can go into 36 6 times. So n is equal to 6. Right. Checking time now. 6 is equal to 36 divided by 6, and 6 is equal to 6. That's that. The correct way to check is basically to substitute. So the original question here is 24 plus n is equal to 40. Right, so we're going to substitute for n. So 24 plus, the value for n here is 16, plus 16 is equal to 40. You go along and calculate 40, because 24 plus 16 is equal to 40, right? Equal to 40. Right, the second one, we're substituting again. 6, the value for n, we're going to put that in a bracket. The value for n is 6. So 6 times 6 is equal to 36. And 36 is equal to 36. So the formula for volume of a rectangular prism is length by width by height, right? So this is volume. Volume is equal length by width by height. So we given a value for the length 40 cm and the width 2 cm and the height 20 cm. Right? So we have to multiply all three of these together. Okay? So 40 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 20. Okay? So 40 by 2 is going to give us 80. Right? 80 by 20. And then we can put down our 80 over here, multiplied by 20. Right? Let's do this a little bit properly. 0 times 0 is 0. Right? We can skip that step and go to the second row. Right? 2 times 0 is going to give us 0. 2 times 8 is going to give us 16. Right? There's no decimal here, so we're just going to add like a comma. And equal to, our unit here is cm. So 1600 cm. And when we're writing volume is represented by cube, which is a 3. Withdrawal slip is used to record the amount you want to take out of your account. So remember, withdrawal is removing money from your account. So when you fill out the slip, you have to write your name or the person's name, right? You have to write the date. Usually they don't give you a date. So if there is no date, you use today's date, right? You write the account number that will be provided, and you write how much in letters that is being taken out from the account, and you're gonna write the cents out of 100, right? And then you're gonna write the amount you take out here, and then please remember to sign. You would have to use a person's signature or probably use the test is going to tell you. And this here is the withdrawal number, right? That's the withdrawal slips number. 8, 9, and 10 and 11 are remembrance questions that while you've gone through the book you will have to remember. Alright, so this one here, if you don't remember it, you can calculate it. So remember, feet is 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches, but we want to find out cubic feet and cubic inches. So 1 cubic feet is equivalent to 12 multiplied by this number here. Remember, anytime a number is to the power, that's how much the number is, that's how much times you're going to have to multiply it by itself. So 12, and 12 by 12 is going to give us 144 inches squared, or square inch. Right, remember, a right angle is always represented by a box in the angle, and it is usually 90 degrees every time. The area of a circle, the formula for that is pi r squared. The area for a circle is pi r squared. Don't mix it up for circumference. The area of a circle, area pi r squared. Alright, the perimeter of a quadrilateral, and quadrilateral is anything like a parallelogram, a square, a rectangle, anything of that sort that has 4 sides, is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So we're gonna have to, if we have a length of 6 and a width of 2, we're gonna have to do this. 2, the length is equivalent to 6, so you put that in bracket, plus the width is equivalent to 2, so 2 open bracket times 2, so 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 times 2 is 4, right? And 12 plus 4 is going to give us 16. And if our unit is, let's say, meters, you're going to have to put back our here, right? Good. There is no squared or 2 or whatever, because we don't have to really multiply the length by the width, we're just adding. 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. Right, remember we had kilo, hecto, deca, liter, right? And then we go down to the deci, centi, and milli, right? So we know we're at liter, but we want to make it, we're right here. We want to make it into milliliter. So we, by the amount of places we jump, that is how much zeros we're gonna add. So we here at 1 liter, we're gonna go 1 0 times another 0 times another 0. We end up with 3 zeros. So this is equivalent to 1000 milliliters, right? And then yard is the same thing as right here. Sorry, not here, but up to the top, right here. We'll be converting the 1 yard into feet. Remember, 1 yard is equivalent to 3 feet. But 1 yard squared, or 1 cubic yard, is saying multiplying this 3 feet by itself twice. So 3 by 3 is going to give us 9 feet squared. And 1 yard. Combining integers. So the rule is a negative plus a negative is going to give you a negative, right? And a negative plus a positive is going to either give you a negative or a positive. And a negative subtracted by a negative is going to equal to a negative or a positive. So just to explain this, how would a negative plus positive give you a negative or a positive? If the negative sign or the number with the negative value is bigger, then you're going to get negative. If the number with the positive sign is bigger, you're going to get a positive. But it's getting complicated here, right? A negative subtracted by a negative. Look at the last two signs at the end. In school, I've learned that a negative, just to step you up a bit, in school I've learned that a negative times or multiplied by a negative is going to give you a positive, right? You're going to get positive here. So now we're saying that a negative plus a positive, right? Because this here is going to turn positive. The negative sign is going to remove, and if there is no sign, it means that there is a positive sign, right? So a negative plus a positive is going to give you a negative or a positive, right? Good. So we have some examples here. So a negative plus a negative. The rule said a negative plus a negative is going to give us an obvious negative. So we're going to put our negative sign right there one time. So we go ahead and add like normal. 21 plus 14, 5. We're going to get negative 35. Right? Good. Next one. A positive plus a negative. Positive plus a negative is going to give us either a negative or a positive, so we don't put back our sign yet. However, we said that if the positive is bigger, the answer is going to be positive. If the negative is bigger, the answer is going to be negative. Good. So we have the positive being bigger, so we know that our answer is going to be a positive answer. Good. So when we gonna add a negative number to a positive number, we are basically going to do this thing here, what I've learned in secondary school or times or wherever, that a negative times a positive is going to give us a negative, right? So we're going to subtract. So 19 take away 9 is equal to 10, and the answer here is 10. Now we have a negative plus a positive. Same principle. Which number is bigger, negative or the positive? Not in value but in size. the 32 is bigger, so we know we're gonna have to put our negative. So a positive plus a positive is positive, so you're just gonna add like normal. So 32 plus 10, 2 and 4. The answer is negative 42. Good. So solving decimals and fractions, we have this fraction here, 7, 1 over 4, take away 2, and 1 over 2. Lowest common denominator is 4. So 1 over 4, and same thing we're going to do here. 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. Good. Moving on, we have to subtract. But can this subtract like this? Can you take away half from 1 over 4 or 2 over 4 from 1 over 4? No, you can't. So you have to borrow from here. This turns into 6, and we're going to add what? Another 4 to it. So this becomes 5, right? Good. So now we subtract like normal. We can subtract over here first. So 6 from 2 take away 6 is 6 take away 2 is 4, right? And then 5 take away 2 is 3 over 4. So our answer is 4 and 3/4. Good. So now we have the decimal calculation. 10.08 multiplied by 2.033, right? So 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 1 is 3. We add 1 0. 3 times 8 is 24, sorry. Put a 2 here. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 plus 2 is 2. 0. 3 ones are 3. Good. We add 2 zeros. Skipping the step, right? So we skip this step. And we're gonna go to the third step by adding 3 zeros. So 2 times 8 is 16, right? Add the 1 here. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. 2 times 0 is another 0, and 2 times 1 is 2. Good. We don't have space here, so we're just gonna add and put down our numbers over here. So 4 plus 2 is 8. 6 plus 3 is 9. 3 plus 2 is 5. And 2 plus nothing is 2, right? When we have decimal places, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our answer is 5 decimal places.